Wow, look at that, trying to get through, and there are way too many people. Oh gosh, found a little bit of a secret place. Today I have come to spend the late afternoon in an old town called Jiufen. Historically, it used to be a gold mining town, but nowadays it is packed with tourism because of its historical look, narrow alleyways and the beautiful nature from around here. Just look at that sunset. Let's get exploring to find out whether it's worth to visit this place or not.
Jiufen is a popular day trip destination from Taipei. In fact, it is one of the most popular ones, and it is very easy to get there by using public transport only. The journey itself is smooth and comfortable, with cushioned chairs and big windows for very nature views along the way. Jiufen has around 4 million visitors per year, and today you and I will be one of them. The second I arrived to Jiufen, the views were breathtaking straight away, with many smaller islands being seen in a not too far distance, with almost a mystical mist surrounding them, which was just the starting point of the magical touch this town holds.
Even the supermarket here has a view onto the mountains and the sea. That is a supermarket, wow.
And after being in big cities like Taipei and Taichung, it was instantly refreshing to see beautiful nature like this. But guess what else was one of my first impressions?
Oh my god, it is so packed in here. I just entered the street with the lanterns. It is narrow and you have shops and food on both sides, but so many people around you. Wow. Not even sure how far down this road goes so far. There's no exit inside. I just see lots and lots of people around me and a lot of smells from the different foods. There's definitely lots going on in here.
And this alleyway right here is the one that I planned to enter and walk through to start with. But as travel sometimes is, things didn't really go according to plan.
I can definitely see the charm of this place. It looks very magical in here, with all the lanterns being lit and around us everywhere, and a very narrow lane in here as well. But it is so packed with too many people that it loses a bit the charm, at least for me. At this point, I'm not sure anymore. It was a good idea to enter at this point. I'll try to exit on the side and come back a little bit later when I'm not gonna miss the sunset, because this is my priority right now, to see a really good sunset spot. When there's a gap, I keep running through it. Wow, I found a little side street from that massive busy road inside, and I am so happy that I can actually see a little bit of the houses around here and a little bit of the atmosphere of this place, because inside there it was way too many people, way too packed, and I would have loved to see a few shops or try some foods, but I feel like I couldn't even stop for 1 second. It was like a constant push through. Now, I think I found the most perfect sunset spot over here. Wow, you have the mountains, the sea, you have big ships over there, and an absolutely scenic view onto the sunset. It really is something magical, this combination of things. And then the shape of the mountains, while we are on a hill, surrounded by all these old houses with the lanterns. Feels like magic.
And while we still have some sunlight, let's head out and explore other parts of this town on a hill. But first, I wanted to learn a little bit more about the city's history, and so I entered a museum. Entry was free, and the museum is located on the actual site of the historical events.
Jiufen used to be a gold mining town, and in order to relax after a hard-working day, the miners would come right here to the local cinema to watch a movie. And nowadays this is an accessible museum, so accessible that I can actually walk down this full cinema room, sit on the same chairs and get a little bit of a feeling of how it used to be back in the day, and then walk back out into the streets of the town. And I love that, because how many museums nowadays give you a little bit of a barrier, but you can't actually access the thing or the place that you're seeing. But this one right here, you actually get a real feeling of how it was for the people. And there's also a second floor. I wonder if this was also filled with chairs. Probably. And this right here probably used to be a place where people would buy snacks for their movies. Basically what we would do nowadays if we go to a cinema, but it just feels so nostalgic looking at this room, and it feels like it was just left yesterday as it is right now. There are even cigarettes being sold. I wonder if they were still allowed to smoke in there. Okay, this place closes at 6 p.m. sharp on a weekday, and I'm heading out because the employees want us out. And wow, now the sun has set and the town has lit up with beautiful lanterns all around. It is a very, very unique and different view on it now. Oh wow! Wow! Walk up the many steps into this beautiful lantern paradise now. It is again quite a narrow lane with lots of people in it and shops all around us, but this time we are not in the market, we are a little bit outside of it, and it's absolutely stunning to just look up. Makes the hike up a little bit easier. Where I'm walking up now is known as the Old Street, and it is actually a street based on a staircase with shops left and right around us. This right here is a market street. Then this right here is the Old Town lane going down. On the other side we have the Old Town lane going up. Oops, sorry. And then on this side is yet again another street full of people. None of them have space for me to push through, but let's try to get up. Made it to the stairs. Now my next stop is actually an elementary school. And yes, that is an actual stop here in the city. And I'll show you in a minute why. But for now I'm still getting there. Not sure how long it's actually gonna take.
Just in time before complete darkness, I've made it up to the school I was heading to, and this view right here is the reason to come up here.
Right now is this little elevated platform that has been built by an elementary school on the grounds of the school for the tourists that visit this town, and that in itself is so surreal to me, but at the same time just speaks to the community spirit that this town holds towards tourism, to really show this beautiful place from the topmost point while it is actually part of a school. And the school itself is so nicely decorated. It really seems like a lovely place. Of course, if you come during school operating hours, you would need to respect the quietness and not disturb the kids, but you can enter anytime and just have this quiet, calm view onto the city. In fact, it is so relaxing to come up here after walking up these stairs with hundreds of people around you and then hear nothing but just see beauty around you. This is really nice. School is actually not a boring one as well, to just look at it as a building, because it seamlessly blends in with the architecture of the city, but it is colorfully designed and colored up with some art. Also, guess what I just saw? They have a slide from the building to the outside. Where on earth have you seen a school having that? That is insanely nice. Look at that. And indeed quite a nice refresher to be up here, away from the hustle and bustle that is happening down in the town. But that's where I'm heading to now to explore it more. So let's get going. Let's see if it got a little bit calmer in the meantime. There are so many creative shops here as well, so not just your typical t-shirt and souvenir shops, but actual art pieces. of any kind. I saw some coasters and now I'm seeing some little glass statues, but very, very beautiful ones. Dragons, of course, because it's the year of the dragon in the Lunar New Year calendar. And look at that, so cute everything. Of course, there are also shops where you can buy earrings and magnets and all that essential stuff that I love to buy when I go to a new place. But this store specifically here has a lot of creative art in it as well, also about Taiwan. And these are the stores where I can really buy everything. Like, I love everything so much that paradise in here. Look at that. This is literally a little bag that holds your bubble tea. How smart is that? Hello. Around this district where this town is located, there are also tea plantations, which means you can buy the freshest tea that is produced right here locally in the shops and try them as well, so you know exactly what you're getting. And I love that it's absolutely freshly cut, dried tea that you can buy in here. I wish I could see the tea plantations as well, but that's for another day. The more you walk in the narrow lanes, the more of these unique shops you find. They are hidden within the structure of the house. So you are literally walking on the stairs and then there's a little bit of a hall where there's a full-on shop hiding inside. And it's quite a unique setup to be right here in the middle of this narrow lane. Such a narrow cutout, but then a full-on shop inside.
And just like that, by walking through the alleyways, one of the key picture spots of Jiufen appeared right in front of me. Look at it.
This building behind me was actually the one that inspired a very famous anime movie, together with the road that leads up and down from it. And it is definitely such a sight to look at. It really mesmerizes you once you start staring on it, because it's a combination of these old houses with the narrow alleyways and the red lights on it. I totally can see how that can be a movie inspiration. I just came across this little tunnel, which I think was one of the tunnels the miners used for their gold digging, but it actually leads me to a coffee house apparently. That is really nice because I'm more or less the only one here. Wow, it gets a little bit claustrophobic. This probably, or 100% used to be one of the paths where the miners used to take out their gold. That is so cool. I think I found a little hidden gem of a tea house. It's definitely a little bit further away. Whoa, that is beautiful inside. Lots of teapots. How nice. Actual frog right there. Why is there a frog? Because this town is located near tea plantations, it makes sense that there are lots of tea houses here as well. Well, Taiwan in general is a culture that loves their tea, and here in this town it just feels way more magical to have a cup of tea. For example, look at that building behind me that I've just entered. From the outside it looks like this wooden Harry Potter style house, but inside it's so nicely decorated. They even have a view onto the mountains and the sea from up here, which is just so scenic, and there are lots of them, so you can definitely find a seat somewhere at some point if you're willing to queue. I think the beauty of this town also really comes to life when you just get a little bit lost away from the main old town road, because that's where you will find the old architectural buildings, the old alleyways, and all these parts that haven't gained the famousness around them, but are technically and architecturally the same. So you can walk around them and just get a feeling for the streets, the houses, the architecture. And I love that part. Maybe I love the part that I can have both in here, the decorated ones and the anime inspiring ones, as well as the authentic ones. And just like that, you can find shrines like this one in the middle of the streets just by walking around. Let's see what else we can find. Let's get back to a little bit of a history lesson, shall we? So this town used to be a gold mining town. So when there were miners in the city, it was bustling with people and was super alive. In fact, it says that the gold, or the steam of the gold, was shining up, and you could even see it in the air. That's how much gold there was in this town. But then the gold mining area came to an end, and this town was kind of left empty until it was rediscovered in the 1990s, so not that long ago, and became that tourism potential hub, which eventually it became. So people started restoring it and started bringing that life back into it with the lanterns and the shops and the restaurants, until also eventually it became an inspiration for a famous anime movie, and then it went all in viral. And on the one side, I really like that this town has the tourism and has the income from it and all the opportunities that come with it. But on the other side, it also loses its natural charm with it. I wonder how it was when it was still a little old gold mining town that would have been maybe a little bit optimized towards tourism, but not this mass tourism as it has become. It was nice to walk around here. Oopala, almost fell there. But let's get back to the main street. Let's head back out to the main road through this narrow, mining tunnel. That is so cool. That is so cool that this place is actually open to public. Just look how narrow it is. Now I can stand. Wow. Walking through this alleyway feels so surreal, as if I'm literally touching history with my own feet. I can only imagine the miners being down here working hard. Wow. Look at that. This is literally history in a tunnel. I've actually found an even better spot of the building from up here. It's a staircase that leads to a coffee house. There's a little bit of a string, so you can't go further than where I am right now. But look at that. Wow, so beautiful. And from here you get a really nice view onto the whole building and all the lights and the lanterns and the magic of it. Now how do I get out of this? Excuse me. Wow, it's just so beautiful. My initial question, whether it is worth it to visit this town, I think absolutely. It is very historical, and that can be seen in everything. The roads, the architecture, the houses, most importantly the history. Plus you have really beautiful nature from here as well to see. There are also hikes to take and lots of other activities to do. But I think coming here for a one-night stay is probably a better idea. This way you are avoiding the masses of tourists that are here during the day, and you can come out in the evening when everyone has left, as well as in the morning, and have that whole place basically to yourself. Because I think there is a little bit of charm lost from too many tourists being here. At the same time, I'm a tourist and I want to see this place, so is everyone else, so it's a very valid point to come here and enjoy it as much as you want and in a way that you want. But at any given moment you feel that you are blocking someone or that somebody is blocking you from walking, which makes it a little bit difficult to enjoy the surrounding around you and really appreciate these historical buildings that there are everywhere here. Because as for me, a little history fan, I love to just walk and stare on things and enjoy the view on them. It is now time to head back to my bus. Hopefully I will still get a seat on it. And already now, at this time being 8 p.m, look at it. I can literally rotate around and not have people around me. That is beautiful. unsurprisingly, the buses are packed with people heading back into Taipei. Everyone who, like me, came for a day trip to Jiufen, and the buses are so packed that people are literally standing like little sardines on the door. I'm hoping the next one is going to be a little bit emptier. Oh, I think it's coming. Let's see. Hopefully that's going to be a good one and I can enter. There has been such a queue here before, and I'm really hoping that this one is a bit more relaxed. Yeah, it looks good. Woo. Looks like I will definitely have a bit of standing room. Let's do it. I even got a seat. There is something very relaxing to it, to have a very long bus journey back to your destination while having the perfect window view and not being the driver. You can enjoy everything happening around you while you can fully relax. At least I love that part. And I have really enjoyed visiting the little town today. I hope you have enjoyed that video as well. If so, please hit that like button to support me and so that other people can find that video as well. And I would love to see you in my other videos, either about Taiwan or any other country I'm visiting. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!